Okay, we're going to go for Stoke versus Aston Villa. This is a Boxing Day fixture in the Premier League this week. Start by talking about Stoke City. They lost at Manchester City last time out after their recent run of 4 wins in a row. This was perhaps just where it was one step too far. I mean, City are the strongest team at home by a mile. They just want to stop and go again after that defeat. But do you think they had a few niggles against City? So do you think they just looked at it and thought, you know what, we're not going to get anything there, let's go again against Villa?
Well, I think you're right. I think the games are stacking up. They're coming quick and fast, and with Stoke in Europa League, maybe they did see this game as one they weren't expected to win, so maybe they could target this. Now, as you say, they did have a few niggles which really negated their third. I mean, Peter Crouch is essential to their...
Everton and Crouch are out, and that's a big part of their team.
Yeah, I mean, Stoke's plan is to essentially they get the ball long, or they get it wide, and they get crossing through Jermaine Pennant and Everton. Now, with both Everton and Crouch missing, that is a large part of their armour gone. Against Tottenham, they were so good, and without them, obviously, they struggled. Now, they'll look at this game against Aston Villa and say, they're the team, they've not been informed. They had a good performance against Arsenal, but they will look to get something from it.
This is the sort of team they want to be above in the league. If they finish above Villa, they probably think they do.
Exactly, yeah, that's certainly right. And they're two very, very different teams, so it'll be very interesting to see how they come together.
So Aston Villa, obviously you mentioned there, Villa was slightly unlucky against Arsenal, maybe deserved a point. But the reality is they've lost 2 home games recently against Liverpool and against Arsenal, which probably proves that they are that level down from the likes of those teams. So sort of top 10, top 8 is sort of what they're looking at.
That's the thing. I mean, you obviously would expect them to win those 2 tough games against Liverpool and Arsenal. The fact is they did come out of the game against Arsenal with a bit of credit, but this is the 3rd game in a row, which would be a real tough test for them. And you don't expect them to win, obviously they'll be in with a shout, but it'll be a real test for them, and especially because he needs to start beating these type of sides to get the Villa faith on side.
And just in theory, they could be 2 points from the bottom 3 if they lose this, so it's a big game going into Christmas.
Yeah, definitely. It's the same for all teams. They all want to win these quick games in a row. They all want to get up the league, and it's so many small games that you can either go right up the league or right down, and Villa obviously flirting with the bottom.
Okay, just very quickly on Alan Hutton. You saw us sending off the other day, but I think that was allowed to white Boxing Day off. Because it was towards the end, the game was gone probably because it was so late on.
Yeah.
He had a go at one of their players, I think it was Van Persie, for going down too easily or just shouted something at him. Yeah. And then the challenge was ridiculous.
And Hutton, as I say, the former Spurs player, so I've seen him up close many times. He's got the temperament of a wild dog. he's all over the place. He's good going forward. He's not that good defending. I hope Alisson gets proper laid into him after that because it's embarrassing.
A wild dog who wants to get drunk on Christmas Day.
Exactly, have a few sherries.
Okay, we'll go for a prediction on Stoke at home to Villa. I think there's so many Boxing Day fixtures that are relatively tough to call. I really think this is another one that could go either way. But I think it will be a 1-1 draw. I think both teams will be reasonably happy, especially Villa.
I think Stoke, if they get their players back, I think they'll nudge it. I think they'll get a 2-1 win. It's only if they get the likes of Crouch and Everton back on the field.